Got a 2014 Kia Forte. Forget what engine, but we'll get there. Start it up. Check engine light, and it's shaking. Heads up, I've already had this in before for a Misfire. It's on my phone stuck, so this will be a good one. I'm gonna do cylinder drop test like I did on the first one. No change, so it's probably cylinder one. Big change, the connector's broken. Big change. And big change. So it's looking like cylinder one is the problem. OBD connector. Scanner. Key up. Automatic. 14. Kia Forte with a 2.0 GDI. Code scan. That was 301. It should be with cylinder one. Oh, right there. 301. Got a generator control circuit pending code. And a 300 current. That's pertains to this Misfire. 301 is the real code. So we'll go to engine. So we'll go into engine. We'll go to codes. It should have a 301 for a cylinder one Misfire. And boom. Got a 620 generator control circuit pending code. So that's an alternator fault of some sort. Cylinder one Misfire though, that's our guy. So now we'll go to data. Misfire data. Should be it. Hopefully I get one. Start it up. What the hell? It just told me I have 48,000 emission relevance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should just count on one. There we go. These are false on this one, obviously, if it's counting good numbers, but it's throwing spikes on 2 and 3. But this is the only one that's counting on cylinder one. 320. So cylinder one is counting consistently. So let's go scope it. So took off the cover. We got an ignition coil fuse right here. This 20 ampere. So what I do with the current probe on here, current's gonna flow one way. So I don't have to flip the probe when I'm in the midst of it. I like to turn the key on and see which side has power. So it's this side. Current is going to be coming up the left side, down the right side. So what that means is when I put my fuse loop, current's going to be coming up on this leg. The arrow is pointing down, so I'll be going down on this side. So these are 2-wire coils. I lucked out so we can get primary voltage. but we're gonna have to use attenuators. And this takes let's say 400 volts, what it's rated for, 400 volts, and turns it into 40 volts for the scope. Much safer. So we'll go blue. So you look, there's a blue wire, blue wire, blue wire, but then the other side of the wire is green, black, red, white. So the different coil colors are the control. The same colors are going to be the power supply. So hopefully I can get some signals out here, and if not, I'll have to pierce it. But I do like that I have let's go this one or two, primary voltage capability. Primary voltage hardwired in is going to be more accurate and consistent than a secondary probe that uses capacitance or inductance, whichever they use. Basically magnetic fields with magnetic probes. I was already editing a video. Stay tuned. This will probably be up first. This guy's a 9-minute video. So Pico. They're primary leads, but I'm using attenuators. So I'm gonna go down to 10-to-1 attenuator. And then low amp probe, 20 amp probe. I should say 20 amp setting on the 60 amp probe. So increasing to 500 millisecond. This is 5 microseconds, so I'm gonna turn this up, sample rate, to 1 microsecond. Can't do that on Snap-on. So then I'm gonna turn this probe on. You see it turn on right there, but it's not zeroed, so I'm gonna hit 0 and it raises it. Just press that button. Now we're good to go. Alright, sweet. I'm getting perfect waveforms on everything. So hit stop, start, stop. So we'll zoom in. The blue is what should be messed up. Alright, see on the red, you have your turn on right here. This obviously followed or indicated by the current ramp. This is the turn on of the coil. Then it shuts off, and then you get an inductive spike. This is your firing line. This is your spark line. See how the spark line comes out and it kind of dips down a little bit, but pretty even, and it comes out. It should be a 1 to 1.5 millisecond at idle. About right there, 1.15, perfect. What I'm seeing is, compare that to this guy. Get your turn on, and you got a firing line, you got a spark line, but it dips down. That dipping down says spark plug failure, but it also says rich condition or low compression, where it doesn't take effort to keep that spark going. So now the name of the game is isolating. Isolate the coils, probably won't see a change, and then I'm going to isolate the plugs. And isolating is just a better way of saying swapping, but I'm looking up the scope rather than waiting for a code to set. So I think that's a decent way of doing it. Show you guys real quick, this current ramp is good. Turn on oscillation and it ramps up, it doesn't go straight up. And this is a hard misfire, so I'm kind of silly. I should have done a relative compression test. So current going into the battery, 2000. I'm just going to take the coil power away. I don't need timing sync. It's not going to start because I pulled the coil fuse out. Cranking sounds good. And it looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have at least 4 cylinders good. Relative compression is good. Engine integrity is good. But that spark line looks like shit. So blue was the problem before. And now red is the problem. Bad coil. This is blue. That's what red looked like before. And here's red. That's what blue looked like before. So we got a bad coil. Simple as that. And we're gonna change the plug and the coil on cylinder 1. So we saw the capture move on the scope with cylinder 1 coil. So let's see if beta moves. Boom. Cylinder 2 now. Cylinder 1 we're highlighted on. Now we go down to cylinder 2. Cylinder 2. And it's just climbing. So yeah, bad coil on cylinder 2. So this is what the good waveform looks like. This is the turn on, like I said, this is your firing line. This is what energy it takes to jump the spark plug gap. And this is the energy on your spark line that it takes to keep the spark going across the gap. Here, it just looks like crap. So when the spark line is higher, that tells you it's requiring more energy. When it's lower, it requires lower energy. Usually it jumps out at the same point. When you have a problem outside the cylinder, you'll have the spark line jumping out higher. We can go into that later on. Left, if you divide the spark line in half, left is inside or outside the cylinder. A problem on the right side would be a problem inside the cylinder. But just looking at this, if it slopes up, that means we got a lean problem usually. It's harder to keep the gap sustained. Then if it's going down like this one, it's usually a low compression problem. It's easy to keep that gap sustained. So this spark line like this, I can't say it's open because the firing line doesn't go skyrocketing and there's no oscillations rather than a spark line. We do have a spark line. Usually when you have an open, it's super tall right here. No spark line, you have just oscillations. And it's not shorted because that current ramp looks good. Shorted current ramp, you're gonna have a straight up line right here. And that's what happened on this coil, cylinder 3. When I did this misfire before, it was a shorted coil. I'm gonna put that right here. So, ramp looks good on both. So it's, I'm gonna call it a weak coil. And then doing these plugs, because this plug and coil are new, about 5,000. So I'm gonna do this plug and this plug. 60K, they're not due till 105, but if they're ruining coils, then we're gonna preemptively do the plugs so we don't kill any more coils. 39 to 43 thou gap. This is a 40 thou gap. 40 thou. No anti-seize. Alright, Mr. Subaru. Spark plug. 11 to 18. So I'm gonna go my magic number of 13.
Part right here.
The fuck is that? Oh, it's a slider. Sliding door.
So it's a art. We do not need that. Nor do I want to be getting involved in that deep into a sliding door.
No. 13.
I'm not just getting into it.
Here's the new coil. Delphi matches that one. So now we got new coils on 1 and 3. So that's it. Now we verify the repair. So car's off. Turn my probe on. We have the primary before. Problem was on cylinder 1. So now I'm just gonna hit record. So we're recording live. I'm gonna turn on my probe on the green. See that? 0. Oh yeah, feels way smoother. Look at the motor mount. That was the best illustration I can give for the Misfire. It is not misfiring anymore. Running smooth. Looking good. No surprise there. What's killing coils? So like I said, engine cover on the windshield. You're not going to forget it. The emission relevant misfire that was working. Zeros, all zeros, all flat. So that's it. A coil is going to be the fix for this one. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Good primary check rather than looking at secondary. I was able to go on primary 2-wire coils. You're hardwired in, it's going to be more consistent and more accurate. I'm a big fan of that. And yeah, that was a good one. Weak coil. Usually it's open or shorted, and on the third coil it was shorted, and I showed that before. I'll show what the primary waveform looked like right now. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Diagnostic Dennis out.